Okay, so today I will be showing some waterlogged falling block stuff in new versions. This was found by Savva, the ability to make waterlogged falling blocks like this. So pretty much, falling blocks before they land will set themselves to waterlogged, so they land as a waterlogged block. If you use update suppression, you can keep the waterlogged falling block. It will crash the server. Even if you don't have crash fix, you'll still keep the falling block. So I can show it right here. And if I now get a fishing rod, it's waterlogged. And then if you, for instance, did falling block in 1.12 and then updated, you can even waterlog those falling blocks and also have them land. So if you just have this kind of setup here and then you input your falling block, and you can see landed up there, and then if it's also waterlogged. Now there is another block in 1.17 that doesn't need this to become a waterlogged falling block, and that is dripstone. Dripstone is a very peculiar block. It can pretty much fall waterlogged just by default, and it can also be switched with a bottom facing or a top facing pointed dripstone. So for instance, here in this little small setup here, what happens is this trapdoor will open and close in the same game tick, and this will do the same behavior used in zero tick plant farms, and that will turn this one, that'll first the tile tick to break this one, it will instead make it fall. It will fall and then land back in the same game tick, but that will then cause the same thing to happen to this one. So this one will then get a breaking tile tick, but it'll then fall from that tile tick. So when it starts falling, we push it out, and you can see we get a waterlogged dripstone just like that. The use case for this is, it's pretty much a movable water block. Like you can shoot this with a cannon, and yeah, a lot of other stuff. Now this one right here, you can also make the falling base. So this setup over here can make all of them besides the base one. The base one needs to be made with the different setup with this soul sand here. This stuff down here isn't needed for it, but still up here. So you place 4, and you have to make sure this one says base in the top right, and then as you can see, it makes the falling base. Now this setup up here will actually preserve all these dripstone blocks. So as you saw in the other ones, it will delete the dripstone blocks. This one preserves them all, and then converts one into the most useful dripstone, which is the middle dripstone. I can show a middle dripstone right here. This is a middle one right here. Middle dripstone can be stacked indefinitely on each other. So if I put down a base, I have these spawn eggs to put down these bases. Let's see. It places a middle, but you can put as many middles on top of each other as you want, just like that. So if you wanted to make a middle one automatically, you can use this setup right here. It's a little jank and it's not really useful, but if I trigger it, it does a lot of stuff, but we end up with one down here. Now if I add a base block for them to land on, they always need to have a bottommost base block, otherwise they will convert. So that's a base block. And if I tick freeze, I can show through the steps of this contraption. So the first thing that will happen is right here. This one first falls, which will then make this one fall. This one falls, and then immediately we zero tick in this soul sand. This will cause this bottom one to also fall. We then place this carved pumpkin, so these ones get support blocks and they will not fall. Now, we made this one also fall because we need to push them both out. We need to push it with a fence gate. So now if we just tick that like 5 ticks, we use this moving piston right here to prevent them from landing. And then here, they are pushed over. One of them is only pushed over half a block, one is pushed over a full block, and then this pushes the half a block one back over. And then this will push it back up, and it'll land back over here. So now we've reset everything besides this middle block. And we've now gotten the middle one out here now. So you then have this like hooked up to a dripstone farm, and then this one will be converted into a falling block and we'll replace this pumpkin. So if we tick step a little bit, this falling block will hit this, but this piston will extend at the same time, which will put a moving piston block here, which will prevent it from landing. And then in the next game tick, these two extend. This will give it momentum, and then in the next tick, these break the pumpkin and it removes the fence gate, which then this one will move from the slime and land right on top of this, and you'll see we get this structure fully back. And if we tick freeze, it's fully reset. And if you're wondering, you can't get water in the nether using this. Falling blocks can't go through portals. But if you, so that's not a use case for it, but moving water with like a cannon, for instance, that's a pretty big use case for this. One of the cooler parts also is it will bud the water, so you get a completely non-flowing water block right here. Now all this dripstone stuff does not work in at least 1.19. It might work in 1.18. I haven't tested it, but in 1.19 they did I guess fix a lot of this dripstone behavior. So yeah, that's about it. That's a bunch of cool dripstone falling water block stuff.